Hello everyone, she's back. Hi, how are you? Been a little bit since I did a video. I figured I'd hop on today because I'm already later than I fully anticipated being recording this video. So it is the first weekend in June. So happy Pride Month, everybody. Happy Pride. May was Mental Health Awareness Month, so I fully intended to get on here and record this video last month because I really wanted to touch on weight loss surgery and mental health. And I really wanted to try and get it done last month, but a bunch of stuff happened, like life, because I'm an adult now. I don't know when the hell that happened, but it happened. So I wasn't able to actually hop on and record this video. So I'm doing it now. Better late than never. I don't care. I'm still going to hashtag like May's Mental Health Awareness Month and all that fun stuff. So as far as May being Mental Health Awareness Month and me wanting to touch on it, I just felt like it was really important to come in and just be honest about my experiences with mental health, as well as a lot of experiences that I've seen others have in the support groups that I'm a part of. So one thing that I do appreciate about a lot of the bariatric programs out there is that a vast majority of them do require you to see a psychiatrist, psychologist, counselor, whatever you want to call them, prior to having the surgery. And I feel like there's only so much preparation that can be done before you have the surgery. Like, people try to explain things to you as much as they can, but with so many things, you have to experience it, and you just don't know until you're in it, until you're in that situation. You think that you're prepared, and you're really just not. So with weight loss surgery, like, first of all, you've got all the hormonal and metabolic changes that your body goes through. So one of the first things you learn how to do is really listen to your body. It's really easy to ignore the cues when you're full. And that was definitely something that I was always really bad at, was ignoring the cues and like knowing that I was full. But when you have the weight loss surgery, your body definitely tells you when you are full. You're not just stuffed or anything like that. Like, you are full. You cannot eat another bite. And if you do eat another bite, your body will let you know, and it will make you regret it so that you learn your lesson and you never do it again. There have literally been times where I go to take that one more bite and I start chewing, and then I realize I shouldn't have done this, and I actually have to spit it out. I mean, it really does get that intense. Like, that is how much you feel it and how well your body lets you know that that was a bad idea. So there are definitely a lot of cues that you start to listen to from your body. But mental health wise, if you have decided to go the route of having weight loss surgery, if you are actually on this journey right now, if you're thinking about this journey right now, then that means that you have been battling with weight loss, with your body, with society, probably with family and friends, for a majority of your life. Like, most of your life, you have been looking at yourself in the mirror or avoiding looking at yourself in the mirror because you don't like what you see. And you also have a lot of family, friends, even coworkers that feel like they're in a good, supportive place when they say it, but they feel the need to remind you that you're fat, that you're overweight, that you need to lose weight. And, they are insistent that it's coming from a positive place, yet it's still a hurtful place. And one video that I like to resort back to is a couple years ago, and this was around the time that this was actually shortly after Stan Lee passed away. And this was when Bill Maher officially became, like, dead to me. Like, I cannot stand the man anymore. One, his blatant disrespect of Stan Lee. I just felt it was really bad timing. It was really awful and disrespectful for him to say the things that he did about Stanley after Stanley passed away. And then when he did a response to the stuff that he said about Stanley, he just doubled down on everything and just made it sound like those of us who like reading comics or watching comic book movies are basically, you know, super stupid adults that just need to grow up and we need to read real literature, I believe is what he said. As if we don't know how to read anything other than comics and graphic novels. So that was one of the big things that drove me crazy. And then I think a couple months after that, Bill Maher did a new rule where we need to bring some level of fat shaming back. And that's when I was really done. Like, sometimes I would still find myself watching clips of new rules and whatnot, like after the whole Stanley thing. But then once I heard about this new rule of bringing fat shaming back, I was really done. And James Corden actually did a really great response to what Bill Maher said. And you don't need to bring back fat shaming. You don't need to. Like, we know, we have battled with it all of our lives. Like, we know what we need to do. We know what needs to happen. We know how we look. We know how society perceives us. You know, we see it every single time our skinny best friend gets hit on at a bar or at the club or just walking out in public. We see it every single time we maybe order a large platter and everyone just gives us that look like, oh, of course. We know and get reminded of it all the time. And we are our own worst critic. You know, you can't cut me down any more than I've already cut myself down about something. So I always like to refer to that James Corden response. It was a really great response, and something that has always truly resonated with me. It was just a really good video. So one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this and post this video is because somebody had posted in one of the support groups. They just posted one simple phrase in the support group, and it was the god-awful toxic phrase, "Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels." And that is one phrase that will send me through the roof like a missile, ready. It just makes me want to explode. It's a huge triggering phrase for me, and I cannot stand it, and I think it is incredibly toxic. It is a horrible, horrible mentality to have, especially when you're battling with your weight and with weight loss. And some people out there, it is a mantra. It works wonders for them, and if you are one of those people, good for you. It just is, in my opinion, a horrible, horrible phrase. And I mean, it was said by a supermodel in her definitely looking less than healthy, super skinny days. And I mean, how are you supposed to feel when somebody says that to you? You know, one thing that so many people need to realize when you have weight loss surgery is that this is not a diet. You know, this isn't, and it also isn't a death sentence. I guess death sentence would be like the wrong phrasing, but you know, this isn't like any kind of like weight loss prison sentence, I guess you could say. Like, this isn't a punishment, you know? You finally come to the conclusion that you want to do something for you and you want to better yourself and you want to better your life. And one thing that people need to realize and understand is that you're still allowed to enjoy life and you're still allowed to enjoy food. You can, for a lot of people, they're still able to eat whatever they want, just less of it. And then others, like, there are some foods they cannot eat or tolerate anymore. My best friend had the sleeve surgery. Her body does not handle red meat very well. I read in the groups all the time that people are just like, I can't even eat chicken. You know, they can't have chicken, they can't have pork, they can't have certain foods that they used to love. And, you know, they have to kind of figure out their new diet and what their body can and can't handle. I still don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that my body can essentially handle everything. So I can still eat everything I used to eat. I came out of my stall a little bit. I weighed myself on Monday of this past week. That was the it was Tuesday because I had Memorial Day off. So it was the 31st of May, and I think I was at 263. I'm kind of dancing between like in the 260s right now, which is pretty cool. And just pretty much, sorry, the camera's shaking. My fur son just jumped on the platform. But I know that because I am kind of eating foods like I used to, I know that I probably could up the weight loss a little bit more if I ate a little bit better. And I am also trying to take this from as realistic of a standpoint as I can. So I'm not going to sit here and beat the crap out of myself for eating. Like, once you get back to the real world, once you get back to working, once you get back to doing everything like you used to, it's really, really hard. And you have to give yourself credit and allow yourself to be human. And it's 150% okay. That is probably the biggest thing that I have seen in the bariatric groups, is how much people beat the crap out of themselves over 1 or 2 pounds. And it's very sad to see. It's very depressing to see. It makes it very difficult to be in those groups. My counselor and I actually had to talk about it last time I saw her. And, you know, she commended me for having such a realistic outlook on everything. And just really taking things with a grain of salt and not overthinking anything, and just really having kind of a level mind about everything. He really wants to come up and say hi. Pretty soon he's going to be the star of these videos and you guys are going to forget all about me. And that's okay, because I mean, the internet is for cats anyway. It's not for us. Oh my goodness. He's so big. So, oh, and he's drooling. Yay. I'm telling you, he's a Labrador in a cat's clothing. And I'm trying to get you to see his face. There is his face. If you forgot, this is Thor. Anyways, so, you know, my counselor, like, just commended me for being realistic about everything. And I mean, it's kind of what you have to do. And now there's a cat on my shoulder. Oh my goodness, this guy. But it's definitely a lot harder than it looks a lot of the time. It is a struggle. But you have to let yourself be human. I mean, it doesn't help that the last 3 years now we've been in the midst of a pandemic, and it goes back and forth on whether or not we're on lockdown or not. And I mean, we never really truly fully locked down and just really nipped COVID in the bud and got it taken care of. So I mean, it's kind of hard to get out and be active and get out of the house and, you know, just maybe get some exercise. It's hard to do that. And I mean, let's face it, being trapped in the house for a while and not being able to be social and just have that human interaction that so many of us need, you know, that can be depressing. And, you know, so we've all just fallen into depressions. We've all fallen into stress and anxiety, and the news is just a shit show and a half. And it's difficult out there right now. And I mean, a lot of people know somebody, you know, that has lost their life to COVID, you know, and if you don't know somebody directly, then you know somebody that knows somebody. And a lot of people have lost several somebodies. I had to witness 2 of my best friends lose like an actual mother and a honorary mother, you know, and it's just been really difficult. Grief can affect different people different ways. And one of the things that a lot of us, you know, that battle with weight did was we used to eat our feelings. And, you know, it's kind of hard to do that now. That's been one thing that I've really struggled with is my work environment is very stressful, very anxiety inducing. I live in a area that is not very kind or pleasant to people of color like myself. And it's very difficult to work in that kind of environment on a daily basis. And it really just makes me want to be able to just hit up drive-through, order DoorDash. By the time I'm done with work, I am mentally, physically, emotionally exhausted, and the thought of coming home and cooking something is just, no. I don't want to do it. So that is definitely something that I have struggled with, and that is something that I know that I need to work on and try and get out of the habit of doing. I don't really do drive-through because there's just not really much that I can have via drive-through, especially stuff that I would want to have via drive-through, like a burger and fries or something like that. And bread is so filling. Oh my gosh, bread is so filling. And so I know if I tried to have like any kind of like, even like just a regular McDonald's cheeseburger, like not even a double cheeseburger or anything like that, like just a plain small itty bitty cheeseburger with like one little cheeseburger patty, that bread would kill me. So it's pretty difficult to try and find the balance, but I mean, I haven't really stopped for anything drive-through, which is probably a good thing. I at least haven't been to any of the drive-through burger joints, but I have had a couple of other things drive-through, but nothing extreme. And I mean, there are places where you can get like a salad and whatnot, so I find a way to make it work, because I mean, I still have to make sure I'm hitting my protein. I was able to finally stop taking the gallbladder medication, the ursodiol. That was only for 6 months post-op, and I've officially hit 6 months post-op. So I don't really have to have the protein shakes on a regular basis now. And I mean, that was where I got a majority of my protein, was with those protein shakes. So it's definitely a struggle, and trying to maintain this realistic outlook on everything is pretty difficult, and trying to make sure that I make good choices and whatnot can be a little bit rough. And you just see a tail. That's funny. And trying to make sure that I'm making good choices, making wise choices and whatnot is definitely easier said than done. And I am just pretty much wanting to come on here and say that everything is okay. A lot of us say all things in moderation. Like, like, so many people ask so many questions, like, is this okay to eat? Is that okay to drink? Is this okay to do? And it's just like, give it a try. See how your body handles it, you know? Definitely, I would say ask your program first, because every program is different. Because, I mean, we are supposed to take it slow. Like, if it's, you know, day 2 post-op and you're just like, hey, can I go to McDonald's? Like, that's definitely a no. Most of us have to do like liquid diet for 2 weeks, and then gradually, and then you're on puree and soft foods, and then you know, gradually graduate to being back on a full diet. But I mean, once you hit that full diet status, then it's just you're kind of experimenting, giving things a try, seeing how you handle different foods and different items. So it's pretty much all on you and what's best for you and what works for you. Every body is different. Every program is different. Every journey is different. You just have to do what's best for you. And I wish there were so many different ways I can say just don't beat yourself up or put too much pressure on yourself. Because if you put too much pressure on yourself, you're just going to stress yourself out. And stress can mess with your weight. A lot of us get the weight loss surgery for a plethora of different reasons. I got it because I have an autoinflammatory disease. Um, and with my hydrodentitis, if I get stressed out, it'll flare up. It makes it worse. So, I mean, I have to try and manage my stress level. So, I really can't sit around and beat myself up or be super stressed out, which means I'm definitely in the wrong line of work right now. Um, but it's definitely a rough journey, and I do wish more people, would talk about the mental health aspect of weight loss surgery. So that's why I really wanted to do a video where I talked about it a little bit. And just to let you know that a lot of what you're feeling, a lot of what you're going through, you're not alone. You are definitely not the only one, and it is okay. And things will get better. Things will be okay. I definitely understand people not wanting to tell others about having the surgery because so many people still perceive it as the easy way out, which still drives me up the wall crazy. But definitely make sure that you do have person or people that you can reach out to and talk to about it. And I do mean like in person, like an actual friend or family member that you trust and that you can reach out to and talk to about it, because you get so many varying opinions, you get so many varying pieces of advice, you get so much coming at you in the support groups. And like I keep saying support in quotes with those groups because people can get really nasty in there. Like, we're already beating the crap out of ourselves with body image issues. We don't need complete strangers on the internet to do it as well. It's social media, which is of course already its own brand of nightmare. So I would say definitely have like some trusted people in your actual inner circle that you can talk to. I am fortunate enough that I know several people that have had bariatric surgery, so I have a lot of people that I'm able to reach out to and talk to about everything. If I need to, which is super great, and I'm forever thankful for all of them. And never be afraid to reach out to your medical staff. That's what they're there for. They're there to support you. Send them messages, give them a call, ask questions if you're not sure about something. Never be afraid to ask questions. Like, I will never understand why people go to the groups to ask a question before they ask their surgical team. Like, I have harassed my surgical team at Christiana Care so much, and at the same time, I think they greatly appreciate the fact that I am engaged and I'm asking questions and I'm trying to make sure that I do this right. I have reached out to my dietitian a fair few times and asked her, if I'm doing things right. Should I be avoiding carbs altogether? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? And she always gives super great advice, and she is very amazing at what she does. And I reach out to my general practitioner all the time with questions. Like, never be afraid to ask your medical staff questions, because they're medical staff and they actually went to school for a lot of these things, and they tend to know a little bit more than a bunch of random strangers on a Facebook group. I said what I said, and I'm not sorry that I said it. So yeah, if you have any questions, if you feel like you've gone through some of the things that I've pointed out and you need to just talk or vent about it, please feel free to reach out to me. I know that I just told you to avoid talking to strangers on the internet or talking to people on the internet, and I am a rando person from the internet, but I am more than happy to talk to people about what they've got going on. Because not only do I have the weight loss surgery stuff going on, but I mean, I have regular living as an adult stressors going on. So if you need to talk to anybody, if you need to vent, always feel free to reach out to me, reach out to anybody in your trusted inner circle, and hopefully somebody will answer the call. And I will always do my best to answer the call for anyone who comes to me. You can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on TikTok, you can follow me on all of those. My DMs are usually pretty open on all of those because I keep all of my accounts public. And if you ever need to talk or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me. Mental health is healthcare, so we need to take care of our mental health, not just our physical health and our bodies. So if you ever need to talk or ever need any assistance with anything, I'm here for every single one of you. I love every single one of you, and I'm so glad every single one of you is here. I hope you have an amazing rest of June. Again, happy Pride. And I will see all of you in the next video. Bye.